village has burned down to the ground. We need your help. Can you please build us new homes?
Yes, Pumpkin Man, I can do that. Okay, Pumpkinhead, this is the perfect location to build your new town. I hope you like it. I think it's the perfect place. All we gotta do is start clearing out some of these trees, and then maybe it'll be the most perfect location for a town you've ever seen. Okay, you guys, we are back, and all of those trees have now been wiped away for our good pal Pumpkinhead here, and we've got a place for us to start building this town. Now, you guys, I hope you guys are excited for this. This is pretty much the first episode of a series where we are going to be building, and it's going to be great. It's going to be a great time, and I hope you guys are going to be excited for it. It's going to be tons of fun, and we're practically going to be building a lot of stuff for Mr. Pumpkinhead and the pumpkin people around the world, and I think it'll be fun. But today, we're starting off, and we're going to be building this guy a house. We're going to be building him a nice little starting house in this little area, and the biggest thing that is going to be a part of this series, you guys, is we're going to be trying to be building in the theme of each of the biomes that we build in. And as of right now, we're in a biome that's full of spruce, and that's why I feel like we're going to be building a house, kind of like the starter house that we started on and over there, and that's kind of going to be where we're building. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started building this house. I think it's going to be really cool, and it's going to be really fun. But let's get started. We're going to have to start by building the frame to the house. That's how you always got to start building a house. You got to build the frame. So we're going to start building this little guy's house's frame by going over here and making the right shape, and hopefully I can get a decent shape going, and then we'll be able to move on to the detailing and then eventually onto the inside. But I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to work on this outside right here, and we'll be back in just a sec. Okay, you guys, so we are back now, and I have gone ahead and placed down all of the framework for our house here. I'm going to give you guys a bit of a around view, a bit of a fly around view, so you guys can know exactly how this is going to work if you are following along. But now that the framework is done, we got to start working on the detailing. Now, right here, I actually, before we go on and start working with the detailing, I don't really know what I'm doing with this building. I started testing out this weird design here. I kind of like how this looks, and I think it'll be cool if we go along with it. So hopefully it'll look decent. Hopefully we won't have to go back on what we've decided to go with here. And yeah, but now that that's dealt with, let's go ahead and let's start working on the detailing. Now, pretty much when it comes to a rustic medieval style house, which is gonna be mostly what we're building, since that's what I'm good at. So since that's what we're going with here, most of those buildings, they usually start with some form of foundation down here on the bottom, which means we're gonna have to go ahead and we're gonna have to grab probably some cobblestone. So let's go ahead and grab some cobblestone to start off the foundation. Now, something here, you guys, that is a really important lesson to learn in building is you don't want to build flat. Now, when you're starting out building, that's fine and all good. Like, you'll be doing something like that. But when you get decent, you want to try, what'll look way better is if you go ahead and you try and put depth into your build. By knocking out some of that, you already have a bit more depth to your build. Now, I actually, looking at this right now, ooh, that might look kind of cool. Maybe that'll look kind of cool. If we grab some cobblestone stairs, maybe? Oh, that could look really cool. If we go ahead and maybe, like, give ourselves a bit of, like, some sort of, I don't know, like, messed up stone kind of thing. I kind of like how that looks. That's kind of cool. I don't know. It's kind of a neat idea. But whatever. We'll leave something like that. We'll mess around with that maybe a bit later. But I don't know. I really like that kind of a thing. It's kind of cool, maybe. I don't really know. I'm not really sure fully what I want to do there. But I don't know. Maybe messing around and making it a bit more, I don't know, just messy in the foundation could look really cool. So I don't know. Actually, let's mess around with that. I'm gonna go ahead, fill up the rest of this building's foundation here. Maybe mess around with a bit more of this, and yeah, we'll see how it looks. Okay, you guys. So I have just finished up placing down all of the all the little, foundation. And I think it looks really super awesome. Gonna be honest with you guys, I've never done this before, and oh my god, I love how that looks. I just love that style. I think it makes it look really rubbly, and like there's a lot of stones messed up in the foundation, and I think it really looks good. I really like how that looks, and hopefully it'll continue to look good as we finish working up on the rest of the house. But there we go. That's that for now, and I really like how that looks. But let's get going, and let's get started on the rest of the decoration. Now, something I always like to do, this isn't for everyone. Sometimes it looks good, sometimes it doesn't. But I like to put these little buttons here on these logs because it usually adds a bit more of, like, pizzazz. It's a bit of like nails put in here, and I don't know. It looks pretty chill, and I like putting those on there. But yeah, okay. Now let's get going on the next floor, which is right here, and we want to get going with a bit of a color. We want to get a base color that we can use as to look a little bit nicer. So what we're gonna pick, and this is probably going to be my go-to color, is going to be clay, and we're going to grab probably this blue stained clay because it looks so much like purple, and I love purple so much. But pretty much when making a building, you want to have yourself a bit of a back color that you have on your wall, and then you're going to go ahead and you're going to add a bit more detail in front of it, kind of like what we did here. We put that cobblestone in the back, and then we added all this stuff as extra detail in the front. So we're going to try and do that same sort of thing here, but the purple is going to be the back color, and then we're going to try and add detail in front. But I'm going to go ahead and fill up all of this right now, right there. Perfect. And now we got to go ahead and we've got to start adding some detail to this. Now, sometimes it might be better to use wood and whatnot. It's all up to the person who's doing it. But right now, I'm thinking that purple is going to be pretty cool. We put purple on our starting house over there, and I really liked it. So I want to give it another shot on this building here. But let's go ahead and grab ourselves some wood. We're going to need to get some woods of some sort, and I think dark oak looks really good for this type of building right here. I think if we place that down, you can see it goes really well with the spruce wood here. So if we go ahead and maybe throw a few staircases in here like so, it might look pretty good like that. I like it. It's looking pretty awesome like that. Yeah, I really like how that looks. It looks really cool. Super awesome. But it's also good if we go ahead and we grab some more. Maybe we grab a spruce staircase in case we want to try out that, and maybe we even grab ourselves some slabs because slabs are super important too. But right here at the front here is looking a bit weird, in my opinion. I'm thinking it's looking a bit weird. So if we maybe try and fill up that space, that might actually make it look a bit better. Maybe even put a window right there. That will look really good. So maybe if we go here and try and fill up this location right here, it'll look pretty decent. Maybe if we throw in some spruce staircases. Nah, I think we should stick with the dark oak staircases like that. And I think it's starting to shape up to be looking pretty nice. I think we'll probably go ahead and we'll put in a window in here at some point, but for now we'll just leave that like that. And yeah, maybe we add, I think we need a bit more stuff right here. It's looking a bit plain. So either we're going to have to make some more windows, or we're going to have to go ahead and fill up this place with a bit more stuff. Now, you guys, a really useful tool is using fences as well to add a bit more detail. So we can grab maybe some oak fences or maybe some spruce fences, and we can try throwing those in here for a bit more detail like that. Looking good. And also, we can always go ahead and throw some fences down back here on the lower level right there, and that'll look really good too. I really like how those always look. I always love it. Maybe even throw a bit here. It might begin to look like a bit too much, and so we might have to take off a few of these fences. But for now, let's throw a few of these on there, and I think that looks pretty cool. I think that looks pretty super duper cool. But I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to mess with this a bit more, and also probably copy what I've got here onto the back side. And we'll catch back up in just a bit once that's all done. Okay, you guys, so we are back, and I have just finished making what I think to be the perfect design for the front of this house here. I went ahead and I put these wooden poles here in the back wall, and I think it just gave a bit more detail that I think the front of the building needed, and I think it looks super awesome. I went ahead and I went around onto the back and I rebuilt that there as well, so now the building is looking pretty awesome. We don't have anything really going on the sides of this building, and I don't know what I want to put there just yet, so we're probably going to hold off for a bit. I did go ahead and I put these little stairs there just because it added a bit more to it and it made the place look a bit curved there, and I do like that. I was thinking about maybe just doing something like that, adding a bit of something, but it wasn't doing that. I don't know. Maybe we want to go ahead and add that. That might make it work if we place that there. That looks decent. We might go with that. But for now, we're going to go ahead and we need to start working on the roof because that's probably the last important thing that we have to do on this house. Now, in order to work on that roof, we're going to have to come up with a different design because usually I don't make roofs shaped like this. This is a bit of a weird shape right here. And I don't really know exactly what I'm going to do, but I think we might as well jump into it and hopefully it'll look decent. So a good way to work on your roof, you guys, is you usually want to work a bit off of the actual roof because if you build just up like this, it's gonna look flat. Like I've told you guys, when building, you always want to use layers and make a lot of depth in your builds because it just makes them look better in general. So pretty much what we're gonna do here is we're gonna actually try and build off a bit here. And actually we need to grab a bit of cobblestone here because we're gonna need that here as well. But doing that, perfect. But right here is where I'm gonna have a bit of confusion because right here I don't know what I'm gonna do since this place is really flat out here. But hopefully I can come up with something. Maybe if we grab some cobblestone slabs and maybe we can do something here like that, and then we can drop down another block. I don't really know. This is gonna take some messing around with you guys. Hopefully I can figure it out. But yeah, I'll catch up with you guys once I've figured out exactly what we should do with this roof. Okay, you guys, so I've gone ahead and I finished up the roof, making a weird design. I don't know how to really describe this roof because it looks funky as could be. It looks really weird, but hopefully you guys can get an idea of what I did here. I kind of got this bit of a slant going here. It actually got it's pretty much just a straight line of stairs going down and then they turn into slabs. But over here on this edge of the building, I kind of did this little curve down using stairs. But yeah, I don't know. I messed around with it for quite a while so it would look right. Because the roof right here, it gets kind of flat. So you had to do it just right to make the roof look really good and decent. So I kind of did that. And in the end, I think it looks good. I think it curves off pretty well. And it looks pretty cool. Now, the last thing I did was I went ahead and I finished up decorating this place by adding a few more fences there. I actually don't want those there. But then I went over here and I placed one here, which I think looks good. But yeah, that's pretty much the house, you guys. If we go inside, we're going to see that I pretty much just placed a bunch of wood on the ground. I placed some slabs here so we could have a 2.5 high ceiling. So it's a bit low, but it still works because it's the lowest floor of the house. But up here, this floor, I filled in a lot of the spots with all of this stuff here and a bunch of the wood. And then I think it looks really good. And we'll just have to go ahead and leave the decorating of the inside for Mr. Pumpkinhead. But let's go talk to him and see if he likes how his house turned out. Okay, Mr. Pumpkinhead, what do you think of your house?
It looks amazing.
Well, that's fantastic. I'm glad you like it. But now it is time for us to get working on a bunch of other houses for all the other little pumpkin people who lost their houses in that fire. But that'll have to wait till next episode because this puppy here took me a while, and I'm sorry for all the other people. Hopefully they can stay with you for the time being, all those other pumpkin people. But yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed this little house we made for Mr. Pumpkin Man here. If you did, make sure to drop a like, as well as leave a comment letting me know what you thought about it, and I'll hopefully respond to anyone who has any questions about the building. But for now, hope you guys all enjoyed. If you're new to the channel, make sure to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. The links are all in the description, as well as in the top of the screen right there. See it? It's right there. I hope you guys did enjoy. Hope you guys all have a fantastic day. And I'll see you guys all in the next one. Yeah?